Hi everybody, my name's Sarah and today we're going to be doing a full body circuit. Before we get started, if you want to go ahead and grab a long resistance band if you have one. If not, that's no problem at all. And also maybe grab a water for this. We are going to be doing some pretty high intensity exercises. So to begin, we're going to do a warm up and then move into a circuit, a lower body circuit and an upper body circuit, going through each of those twice. After we complete the first circuit, we'll repeat it. And the same with the second circuit, taking a 30-second active rest in between. So let's go ahead and start with the warm-up. We're going to go ahead and just jog in place, kind of get the blood flowing, get the heart rate up a little bit, making sure we're taking some nice deep breaths, getting ready for our exercise. Awesome. So after this, we're going to go ahead and move into some leg swings. So we're going to go ahead and bring one of our legs out in front of us, just swinging it nicely like this. Perfect. If you need to hold something for balance here, go ahead. I like to rest my hands on my hips. We'll do about 5 more on this side and move to the next leg. 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. Now we'll move to the other leg. Another nice thing to do for balance here is to pause the foot in between. We'll do about 5 more. 2 and 1. Perfect. For our other set of leg swings, we're going to go ahead and move our leg vertically in front of us. Again, keeping our hands on our hips for balance. Taking some nice deep breaths. Again, if you need to pause here, feel free to do so. And we'll do 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. And move to the next leg. Perfect. So we'll go ahead and begin our first circuit, starting with the lower body. We're going to go ahead and do some calf raises. So we want to keep our feet about hips width apart. Just bringing our feet up onto our toes like so. You can do this at whatever speed feels comfortable, and if you need to hold something for balance, that's perfectly fine. We'll do about 15 more of these. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Next, we'll go ahead and move into our reverse lunges. Again, we want to keep our feet about hips width apart, bringing one leg back and dropping both of our knees into a 90-degree angle. If you'd like to, you can lower that range of motion, just slightly bending those knees, not bringing them all the way into that 90. Awesome. We're going to do about 8 more on each side. Taking some nice deep breaths, keeping our back nice and straight. Perfect. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. For our next exercise, we're going to go ahead and move into some sumo squats. So keeping our feet about a little bit wider than hips width apart, maybe just slightly wider than shoulder width. And we're going to bring our glutes back down into that 90-degree squat. Really engaging the glutes, keeping a nice straight back. Concentrating on that core as well. If you need to here, you can lower that range of motion. Maybe just coming down to a nice 45-degree angle. We'll do about 10 more of these. Making sure to breathe. Awesome. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. Next, we're going to go ahead and move into our next exercise. For this, we're gonna go ahead and, sorry, I'm having a little bit of a foggy brain. We're gonna go ahead and move into some high knees. So for this, you're welcome to keep a nice quick pace. Bring those knees high, as high as we can. If you'd like to, you can go ahead and just step that motion. It helps with a little bit of balance. Regardless, we're gonna make sure we're keeping our heart rate up, bringing our knees as high as we can. We'll do about 20 more of these. Keeping a nice aligned back, hips straight in front of us. Perfect. Awesome. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Next, we're gonna make our way down to the mat. And we're gonna go ahead and get on our backs with our feet, our knees angled in front of us, keeping our hands down at our side. We're gonna go ahead and do some glute bridges. So we're gonna go ahead and bring our hips towards the ceiling. And at the top of this motion, we're gonna go ahead and open our legs just a little bit, abduct them from our body, and bring them back and go down. And we're gonna do about 15 more of these. Making sure to breathe, bringing our hips up as high as we can. Awesome. If at any point abducting those legs gets uncomfortable, you're welcome to just bring your hips up to the regular glute bridge and raise them back down. If you'd like a little bit of a more intense modification, you can go ahead and hold that glute bridge. We'll go ahead and do 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. So we'll go ahead and take a nice 30-second break here. We'll go ahead and make sure that that break is active, just finding some movement. Feel free to drink some water here. Just getting ready for our next set of circuit 1. Perfect. Go ahead for about 10 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So we'll go ahead and get back into that first circuit, beginning with our calf raises. Again, just moving our movement onto our toes, holding anything for balance if necessary, taking some nice deep breaths. Do about 12 more of these. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Moving again into those reverse lunges, keeping our feet about hips width apart. Go ahead and bringing one leg back and down, bringing both knees into that 90-degree angle. Again, lowering that intensity if needed, lowering the range of motion if needed. Awesome. We'll go ahead and do about 12 more on each side. 12 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Moving back into our Sumo Squat, keeping our feet wider than shoulder width, and coming down into that 90-degree bend, really engaging our glutes, keeping a nice straight back. Perfect. Remembering to breathe. do about 5 more. 3, 2, and 1. We're going to move back into those high knees. Again, if you'd like to keep this active, keeping a nice quick motion, or again, just kind of stomping, making sure our knees are coming up as high as they can. Really engaging our core, keeping a nice breath. Perfect. Do about 15 more of these. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So we're going to make our way back down to the mat for our glute bridges. Coming to our backs. Again, keeping our feet about hips width apart and our palms down to our sides. Just bringing those hips straight up to the ceiling. And at the top of this motion, you're going to go ahead and bring your legs out just a little bit, close them back in, and lower down. Perfect. Making sure to take some nice deep breaths here. We'll go for about 10 more. Perfect. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We'll go ahead and take another 30-second break here. If you'd like to stay down on your mat, for our next circuit, we will be starting on the mat, so feel free to do so. Making sure to take some water here. Just getting ready for our next circuit. We are going to move into the upper body, starting with some Russian twists. We'll wait about 10 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So for this, you can do this a couple different ways. If you'd like to keep your feet down on the mat, feel free to do so. But we're going to go ahead and just take our palms right in front of us and come down to either side, trying to touch that mat if possible. If you'd like a little bit of a higher intensity, go ahead and bring those feet off the mat. We really just want to make sure we're keeping our core engaged and keeping a nice straight back. Perfect. We'll go for about 10 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Next, we're going to move into some hover to plank motions. So for this, we're going to want to get onto all fours. Keeping our hands directly beneath our shoulders and our knees about hips width apart. And we're going to go ahead and just kind of raise up off of those, off of the mat, keeping our toes on the mat. And then just bring our feet out into a plank position. You should really feel your core engaged here, keeping a nice straight back. If you'd like to just hold the plank for a little bit of a higher intensity, if you need a little bit of a lower intensity, you can go ahead and drop those knees each time you come back to that 90-degree angle. Perfect. We'll do about 5 more. 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. Next, we'll move into some standing rows with tricep extensions. So if you want to go ahead and grab your resistance band here, you're just going to want to place both ends in your hand. This is just gently stepping on the middle of the band. And then we're going to go ahead and bend our knees here, keeping our back pretty straight, facing the ground. And then we're just going to bring our arms back and extend our elbows like so. Lowering back down, bringing our elbows into a 90-degree angle and extending back. Perfect. Do about 10 more of these. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. We're going to go ahead and keep the resistance band here because we're going to move into some bicep curls. So we're going to go ahead and straighten out that back, straighten out those knees, keeping our elbows to our sides at about 90 degrees. We're going to go ahead and just bring our band up slowly. If you need a bit of a lower intensity here, you don't need to use the resistance band or any weight. We just want to make sure we have that full range of motion, really squeezing our biceps at the top. Awesome. I'll go ahead and do about 10 more of these. Making sure to take some nice deep breaths. Go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. If you want to go ahead and set the resistance band to the side, we're going to go ahead and move into a standing X crunch. So the motion of this would be similar to bicycles if you were lying flat on your back. So we're going to go ahead and take our hands behind our head, just gently holding them there. And then we're going to bring our opposite knee to our opposite elbow, really feeling that crunch at the top of that motion, engaging the core. If your elbow doesn't meet your knee, that's perfectly okay. Just try to get it as close as possible. Nice and controlled, slow movements here. Do about 10 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. If you want to go ahead and take an active rest here, go ahead and drink some water, take some nice deep breaths, and get ready for our second set of circuit 2. Perfect. We'll go for about 10 more seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we'll go ahead and make our way back down to the ground for some Russian twists. Just keeping our knees bent in front of us. Again, if you'd like to keep your heels on the ground or bring them up for a little bit of a higher intensity. And we'll go ahead and just go with that side-to-side motion, tapping our hands down to the mat if we can. Taking some nice deep breaths, really engaging our core and keeping our back nice and straight. We'll go ahead and do about 15 more of these. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Next, we'll move back onto all fours, keeping our palms in front of us and our knees about hips width apart. Again, just lifting up off onto the toes and bringing our feet straight out back behind us into that plank position. We'll go ahead and do about 12 more of these. Taking some nice deep breaths, keeping our core engaged. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. Next, we're going to go ahead and grab that resistance band, make our way back onto our feet, holding either end of the resistance band and placing just the center of it underneath our feet. We're going to go ahead and keep that nice bend in our knees, slightly bending over our back. We're going to go ahead and pull back into the 90-degree angle with our elbows and extend those triceps. Perfect. If you'd like to lower the intensity here, you don't need to use the resistance band. Do about 10 more. Six, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keeping our resistance band here, we're going to go ahead and move into some bicep curls. If you'd like to get a bit of a better angle on the resistance band, this will really help engage those biceps. Again, you don't need to use a resistance band or weight here. You can definitely use your own body weight. Just making sure to squeeze those biceps at the top, bringing them down to the full range of motion. Keeping a nice straight back, taking some nice deep breaths. We'll do about 10 more of these. Six, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Going ahead and placing that resistance band to the side. We're going to move back into our X crunch, keeping our hands just behind our neck, lightly holding, and bring our opposite knee to our elbow, like making an X with our bodies. Perfect. Really squeezing that core at the top of the motion. We'll go ahead and do about 10 more of these. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great job. Now we're going to move into our cool down. If you need to take a drink of water here, feel free to do so. To begin our cool down, we're going to do some nice dynamic stretching, a little bit of some total body stretches. So we're going to go ahead and bring our arms above our heads, reaching as high as we can, gently folding forward and coming down to touch our toes. Finding some movement here, bending out the knees. You can go ahead and sway those arms, making sure to take some nice deep breaths. And when you're ready, you can go ahead and start to roll back up slowly, just like that. And then we're going to go ahead and hug our knees. So this one requires a little bit of balance. If you need to hold on to something, feel free to do so. Just going to bring one knee to our chest and squeeze it in. Hold this for about 8 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll go ahead and move to the other side. Perfect. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll get ahead and do some arm stretches here. So you're gonna wanna bring your opposite arm across your body, hugging it with your other arm, really just feeling that nice stretch, making sure not to pull to any pain, just tension. We'll hold this for about 8 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We'll go ahead and move to the other side. Go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Next, we're going to go ahead and bring our opposite arm behind our neck and gently pulling with the other arm, feeling that nice stretch. We'll hold this for about 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We'll go ahead and move to the other side. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Thanks so much for watching the full body circuit. I hope you enjoyed.